former director, Bob Lanzoni, was really a legend. And he was, I think, the epitome of what Bread and Roses does. And in fact, when I was with a veterans nonprofit, I got in touch with him one day, and a gentleman who had just gotten out of jail was sober. His son was having his first communion, and he had nothing to wear. And what I learned was that he had gone into his closet at home and gotten a suit and a shirt and a tie and a belt and a pair of shoes and some socks. So from the skin out, this gentleman had a very wonderful suit to wear.
My name's Jamie Maughan. I've been working at Bread and Roses about 10 years. Bread and Roses was something, as I started to ease my way into retirement, was something I wanted to do. I wanted to try out. And I came and it was okay. And I thought, well, maybe I could do this again. And then I met Bob. And I guess I caught the bug from Bob. He showed his love and his passion for this place, and it rubbed off. And instead of just coming one night, I went to coming 3 nights a month, and then I was able to convince our group at our church in Reading to prepare 1 meal a month, and it's just increased from there. And it all stems from that passion that rubbed off from Bob. I could see the guests, his interaction with the guest, how he was able to interact with them, how he understood them. How sometimes he had to be stern with them, and he always showed his compassion and his love for this place. And that's remnants of my association with Bob, or what keeps me dedicated and involved in Bread and Roses.
I was a coordinator for many years and a volunteer for 35 years. And I was also on the board of directors. I was afraid to come out of the kitchen when I first volunteered here. And Bob Lanzoni was here on the first night I came out of the kitchen. And it didn't happen too good, and he laughed and he laughed and he laughed. One year it was just like somebody donated these Easter baskets. And he just loved it. He loved it more than the kids. And then when the kids would come, he would give them that, and he'd say, "Oh, you should have seen their face," or if I wasn't here or something. And that, like, it just made us stay, because he loved kids. Bob was a friend to everybody that walked in this door. He helped everybody in many ways. He would be out there every single night, greeting the guests, talking to them, but he also didn't let anybody disrespect anybody else, whether it be a guest or a volunteer. And just the caring that he had for everybody, whether it's a volunteer, a guest, an alcoholic, a drug abuser, or he did so much for them.
I remember him at the door, how he'd greet everybody coming in. He knew everybody's name and everything, but he also knew them. He knew what they were about, where they were coming from. And, you know, I think that's one of the things that I admired most, and I learned from him. You know, I would have an experience here at Bread and Roses, and I would talk about it next time I saw him. And he always kind of got me to look a little deeper in his understanding of that person and why maybe I witnessed that particular behavior or had a certain issue. And he always knew what they were going through. I admired that most about him. You know, he cared about everybody, not just the people that walked in the door. You know, I had those experiences when I was out of work for a while. And, you know, he would say, "Hey, I need a couple rooms painted at the house. You know, do you have time?" And, you know, things like that. You have so many people in your life that really kind of influence you, you know. And I think with me, he was, you know, he's definitely in the top 5.
All I know is one day his partner in the surveying business said to him, he said, "Bobby, what are you going to do tonight after work?" He says, "Nothing. I'm probably going to go home, watch some sports, relax, go to bed." He says, "Well, you mind coming with me somewhere tonight?" He says, "I want you to meet some people and see what I do." So I took him to Bread and Roses when it was down the street, and Bobby ended up washing dishes.
came here as a client many years ago. Then I started volunteering, and now I'm on staff. Special memory would be he became a godfather to one of my great-grandkids. Bob was a godfather to a lot of children. Yeah, a lot of children. My family especially, it's like 4 kids sitting, and he's been godparent to. So, it's amazing. Bob has been an outstanding member of the community. He has done a lot for a lot of people. He has made a name for Bread and Roses so that we can continue the legacy to keep everything going.